Good evening, fellow Plexers. Tonight's video is an easy one. It's going to involve Filebot and ripping media from YouTube. An anonymous member of Plexaholics asked this question. I want to take Title 1, Title 2. Is there any way to quickly have something label it 12 seconds in with title card episodes Pink Panther cartoon? So it's not an easy question to decipher, but I got it because later on in the post, this anonymous member, he or she shared a YouTube link which allowed me to figure out that this person is ripping media off from YouTube and wants to rename it to make it Plex compliant. So I'm not going to show how to rip media, but what I've done, I've simply taken the episode names, and let's remove that, and I've dummied up some short little video files. Good evening, fellow Plexers. This is just a simple dump. Okay, so those are my new dummy file episodes that I can use to quickly mock up renaming videos. So basically, this will be a quick Filebot video, and this anonymous member can reference one of the multiple Filebot videos on my YouTube channel to see how to use my custom expressions. Now, I use Filebot to rename from TVDB, which is what I recommend, but it can be used to rename from TMDB. A default Plex TV show library pulls episode ordering from TMDB. I always change that to pull ordering for the episodes from TVDB. There's a lot more customization you can do that way. TMDB is very rigid. If an episode did not air on a network broadcast or like a streaming service broadcast, they will not include it. And that really affects the special season episodes. So if you're familiar with British TV shows, lots of shows will have a special Christmas episode that's considered part of the special season and not an extension of the regular season or the last season played. Now, over at TVDB, they will list those just like TMDB will. But TVDB will also list the occasional extra from a DVD or a Blu-ray rip as a special season episode. TMDB will not do that. Plus, TVDB has some virtual series in it that helps keep content in a TV show library. There are a lot of movie shorts that are out there that have been serialized. Old Disney animated TV shows, I think it's Disney animated, there's a TVDB entry. Tom and Jerry, all those old movie shorts, the Looney Tunes. There's a lot of them like that. Even Ken Burns Films is an entry at TVDB to group all of his documentaries under one virtual TV show library. None of that exists at TMDB. So that's my little plug for TVDB, and that's how I'll be using Filebot, and that's how I'll be adding it to my library. Okay, so all I've done, let's bring this YouTube thing back on screen. I've got these dummy files, and I just took a few of them and named them the same way that this YouTube link has them, assuming that's how they'll be named once this anonymous member has ripped them to their computer. So let's make this full screen, and I'll bump it up a little bit. I thought I'd bump it up. Oh, that's as large as the text will go. So this is my older Synology NAS. I have a shared folder for public domain media that I use to test with. That's my shared folder, and then I break content up into sort folders. A sort folder for different movie libraries and a sort folder for different TV show libraries. If I click into the TV sort folder or the TV library sort folder, I have actual test TV library folders. So I've placed these mocked up videos in the kids TV show library. Now there's a couple things you can do. I cannot, oh I'm sorry, this is not my Synology NAS, this is my local media, so I'm starting in the wrong place. This is home on the computer and not the NAS, but we'll fix that. I am simply going to create a folder called the Pink Panther. And I'm going to drop these in. So now let's take them onto that older Synology NAS. Okay, so the shared media folder here is simply called Media. And a TV library sort folder. And let's keep these in the kid library. Well, before I do, let me put it one level above, because this server may be set up for automatic scanning, it may not be, I'm not sure. So from here, I'm going to right click on it and open with other applications. If you're a Windows user, I'm not sure if you can do this, but you can actually just open Filebot, then look for it. You can drag the folder into Filebot. I don't use Windows hardly at all, and I only use it in certain Plex demonstration videos. Okay, unfortunately, the GUI is hard to see in Filebot, especially while I'm recording a video. But the left side has the original file names. Now, if I hold down the Shift key, I can see Filebot's default expression, which would be organized episodes for Plex. So we have to identify the series. I assume it's that one. Alright, so Season 1, Episode 1. And it looks like they're all in sequence. Episode 1, 2, there wasn't a 3 on the YouTube site, 4, 5, 6. That would be enough to name from TMDB, and you'd be all set with a default Plex library. I'm going to use my custom expression that also creates structure. Pick the series again, and as you see, it's virtually identical. I'm just pulling from a different database. Now my expression will add in extra media characteristics, and it will look for embedded English subtitles, and if I had external SRT subtitles, it would handle the renaming of those too. So we're creating the show folder, the season folder, and renaming these episodes. So now I have to validate to remove illegal characters, and it's only from the one file. And I'll continue, close this down, and now if I refresh the browser, you'll see that it has the year added into it, Season 1 folder, and those episodes were quickly renamed. The original files, again, look like this. Filebot can handle that easily with a default expression or my custom ones. So now we'll cut that and we'll paste it into this kids library folder. And let me find my web app. Alright, so I always have test servers going. Right now, the only ones that are spun up besides my normal server is my test media server on my newer Synology NAS, which is where this media resides, and on my older Synology NAS. Now, usually it's named similar to this, but I moved a Windows bare metal install to this older Synology NAS, and I haven't reset it yet. So I can go to the, well, actually I have to add the library. I don't have a kids TV show library. So we'll pick TV shows, give it a name. I'll browse to the media. So this is my alias for the Docker container that leads to the physical structure. TV show libraries, kids, you see the two series. I'll hit add. Now personally, because I name from TVDB, every new TV show library has this change. I change episode ordering from the default movie database to the TVDB. And this is more for someone setting up their server first. Just trust me, ignore the movie database for anything besides naming your movies, and name your series from TVDB. It's more fluid as you move into the future. So now I'm going to add the library, and I can jump into it as it scans. And we'll see that it's pulling metadata, detecting intros, detecting end credits. Now this is real media that's all public domain, the Looney Tunes. These are just my dummy files. So we've got the show folder, we've got the season folder, and it's pulling artwork for the episodes. Now, some media in both databases, the movie database and the TV or the TVDB database, they do not have episode artwork to pull from. Or maybe Plex is pulling this from someplace else. They've recently adjusted their scanners to use other metadata sources. So I'm not sure where the artwork comes from anymore. So if it didn't have artwork associated with the metadata, it would just use a scene from the show. So sometimes when I do a demonstration like that, you'll see a scene from my dummy file. But if we click in, we've got all the metadata, and it literally took only a few seconds to structure this into Plex compliant structure. So let's go back to the structure. Now, you can adjust my custom expressions to not name as I do. So that would be a perfectly compliant file name. The Pink Panther with a year, a space dash space, just like all the examples in the TV show naming guide from Plex Show, season episode coding, a space dash space, and then the proper episode name. And that's really extra. You don't need it. But if you have a series like this with cartoons with title cards so far in that show the episode name, it's nice to have it in the file name because you can just play a little bit of it to make sure it's the right one. But I think the YouTube, or this YouTube page, has the episodes labeled correctly. So that's about it. That's for our anonymous member who asked the question. It's a nice group. You don't have to post anonymously. Your question was a little confusing, but I figured it out. The more information you provide, the more we can figure things out. So, everybody else, thanks for watching. And to our anonymous member, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out through the Plexaholics group or even through YouTube. But you won't be anonymous on YouTube. So take that. Thanks for watching.